Speak sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com. Gene therapy provides lasting cure for bubble boy children. Break and number 148, Eliana Nachem is taking a brave step once unthinkable for the 11-year-old girl, and number 148, she's starting 6th grade, with dreams of becoming an artist. Break as a baby, Eliana lived in complete medical isolation, after her 2014 diagnosis at 3 months of age with ADA-SCID, more popularly known as and number 156, bubble boy, and number 157, disease. Break kids with the rare disorder are born with a broken immune system caused by adenosine deaminase, ADA, deficiency, in which a genetic mutation inhibits production of an enzyme essential for immune function. Break for these kids, day-to-day activities like going to school or playing with friends can lead to life-threatening infections, because they have no defense against viruses, bacteria and fungi. Break and number 156. We had to get rid of our dog and cat, she couldn't go outside, and I had to stop breastfeeding, and number 157, Eliana's mother, Caroline, recalled. And number 156, formula had to be consumed within an hour or thrown out. Everything that might harbor germs was dangerous to her. And number 157. Break but an experimental gene therapy cured Eliana's broken immune system at 10 months old, and she has since thrived. And number 148, attending school, playing basketball, free from the fear that some stray virus or bacteria could strike her down. Break Elania is one of 59 children born with ADA-SCID who have been cured using this gene therapy, which will soon be submitted for U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approval. Researchers reported October 12 in the New England Journal of Medicine. Break and number 156, these results are what we hoped for when we first began developing this approach, and number 157, said senior researcher Dr. Donald Kohn, a professor of microbiology, immunology and molecular genetics at UCLA. Break and number 156, the durability of immune function, the consistency over time and the continued safety profile are all incredibly encouraging, and number 157, Kohn said in a news release. Break ADA-SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency, is best known from a 1976 TV movie starring John Travolta, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, based on the true story of a boy named David, according to the National Institutes of Health. Break in real life, David lived in isolation for nearly 13 years before his death following an unsuccessful bone marrow transplant. Speak greater than no cure his condition. Break without treatment, ADA-SCID is often fatal within the first 2 years of life, researchers noted. Break for the new gene therapy, children's own blood stem cells are collected and treated with a modified virus that implants a healthy copy of the ADA gene. Break the treated stem cells are then infused back into the child, where they start producing healthy immune cells capable of fighting infections. It typically takes 6 months to a year for the immune system to reach normal levels. Break for this paper, researchers reported long-term outcomes of 62 children treated with this gene therapy between 2012 and 2019. It's the largest and longest follow-up of children treated using the therapy, the team said. Break Eliana received her corrected cells at UCLA in September 2014. And number 156, I remember thinking, she's born again, and now we just get to watch her grow, and number 157, Caroline said. Break and number 156, now the biggest thing I have to worry about is her entering middle school and bossing me around, and number 157, Caroline said with a laugh. Break overall, the team reported on data representing 474 years of patient follow-up, including 5 children who received the treatment more than a decade ago. The median follow-up was 7.5 years, meaning half of the patients were followed longer, half for a shorter time. Break for the 59 patients successfully treated, immune function has remained stable past their initial recovery period, with no severe complications reported. Break and number 156. What's most remarkable is that everything has been completely stable beyond the initial 3 to 6 month recovery period, and number 157, Kohn said. And number 156, treatment was successful in all but 3 of the 62 cases, and all of those children were able to return to current standard of care therapies. And number 157. Break 2 of the 3 patients who didn't benefit from the gene therapy went on to receive bone marrow transplants, and another is receiving ADA-enzyme injections and preparing for a transplant, researchers said. Break more than half the children treated received a frozen preparation of corrected stem cells, and their results were similar to those who received stem cells that had not been frozen. Break this potentially opens the gene therapy to any child with ADA-SCID, no matter where they live, researchers said. Break and number 156, the freezing approach allows children with ADA-SCID to have their stem cells collected locally, then processed at a manufacturing facility elsewhere less than speak greater than E and shipped back to a hospital near them, and number 157, co-lead researcher Dr. Katelyn Masiuk said. She's Chief Scientific Officer for Rarity PBC, a public benefit corporation founded by alumni of the Kohn lab. Break and number 156, this removes the need for patients and their families to travel long distances to specialist centers, and number 157, Masiuk said in a news release. Break the UCLA team is now working to complete the steps necessary to apply for FDA approval of the gene therapy. Rarity PBC has licensed the gene therapy and is partnering with commercial manufacturers to produce it. Break more information. Break the National Institutes of Health has more on SCID. Break source, UCLA, news release, October 15, 2025. Break disclaimer, statistical data in medical articles provide general trends and do not pertain to individuals. Individual factors can vary greatly. Always seek personalized medical advice for individual healthcare decisions. Break and copy, 2025 Health Day. All rights reserved. Break ad as a preferred source on Google. More news resources for MedWatch. Drug alerts daily. Med news for health professionals. New drug approvals, new drug applications, drug shortages, clinical trial results, generic drug approvals. Subscribe to our newsletter. Break whatever your topic of interest. Subscribe to our newsletters to get the best of drugs.com in your inbox. rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 80% on prescription drugs. Less than /speak.